Are you thinking about going to Disneyland or Disney World, but it just feels too hard or too expensive? It's not. Today, I'm going to debunk the top 4 reasons that people think that they can't go to Disney, and I'm going to show you how. Let's go. Hey guys, it's Cara from Wonderplanned, the place where you get tips and tutorials to help you plan a wonderful, magical Disney vacation. So before we get into it, just a quick disclaimer. I love Disney. You can probably see from what's behind me, and I love Disney holidays, and I love Disney planning. And I thought, since I've been doing this for a couple of years now, that I would share what I've learned with you. Okay, so reason number 1 that people think they can't go to Disney World is because they don't have kids. They think, why would I go to a family place with stuff for kids? It's just for kids. It is not just for kids. Disney has something for everyone. You don't have to be a kid or have kids to enjoy Disneyland or Disney World. The first time I went to Disney World, I was on my honeymoon and we didn't have kids. And we could eat when we want, go on rides when we want, go to bed when we want, get up when we want, drink what we want. We could do absolutely anything that we wanted. We can do the fast ones. As you can see, I don't miss my pre-baby life at all. But even if you ignore all the theming and all the magic, you're still gonna have a great time. There's rides, there's great food, there's bars, there's golf, there's boating, there's spa treatments, there's literally anything that you could have on any other adult holiday with an extra dust of pixie dust. So I think reason number 1 is totally debunked. People without kids can definitely go to Disney. Okay, reason number 2. My kids are too small, my kids are too big, so I can't go to Disney. I even tried to pull this one a couple of years ago. The last time we went to Disney World, my little girl was only 2. And even though it's like my favorite place in the whole world, I was like, oh, she's too little, she won't remember it, what was she able to go on? It's just gonna be too hard. And thankfully, my husband took me out of it and we took her anyway and we all had an incredible time. Disney is a family holiday destination and they do absolutely everything they can to make sure that every member of your party is having a great time. In terms of the little ones, they have stroller rental, they have baby care rooms, they have on-site babysitting, they even have a daycare center, and kids under 3 are free. They enter the parks free and they eat for free. If you're at a buffet and they eat off your plate, they are totally free. They also have some lovely quiet dark rides where you can have a nice gentle nap. My little girl fell asleep on Pirates of the Caribbean, It's a Small World, Na'vi River Journey. It was great. And I was really pleasantly surprised at how many things she could actually go on. All the height restrictions are on the Disney website, which you can find right down here, and there was more things that she could go on that she couldn't. Conversely, we actually went to Universal Studios in LA on the same holiday, and there was almost nothing that she could go to. Her and I stood around together all day long, and the only thing that she could go on was this pathetic little spinny thing that was kind of like a Dumbo ride but in the Minions area, and it sucked. Most theme parks nowadays would have what you would call a rider swap or a baby swap, where mum goes on the ride while dad holds the baby, and then as soon as she gets back, they swap. And that was really good. And what was really good is that usually both of the adults can take another person or another child with them on the ride, so that if you have a third child or if you're traveling with other people, somebody else gets to go on with you. So we were actually traveling with friends at the time, and I took their kid on with me, and then we'd swap, and my husband took the other child or the other partner, and it was just really great. It was fast and easy, and it meant that I didn't have to miss out standing with Ellie all day long. So yeah, baby swap is really good. In regards to big kids, there's plenty of stuff for teens and tweens to do. There are thrill rides at each one of the parks. You've got Tower of Terror, which is my favorite ride. You've got Everest, Rock and Roller Coaster, Splash Mountain, Space Mountain. Teens also love water parks. Disney World has 2 water parks with tons of fast, cool rides on lazy rivers and just lots of places where they can just hang out and look cool. You can also leave them at your resort to hang out by the pool if they're big enough to be left unattended. There's also tons of shopping. Who doesn't love shopping? Disney World also has great Wi-Fi. Not so much the Disneyland, but all a teen needs is Wi-Fi, right? They can be on Netflix or texting or messaging or Snapchat or whatever the cool kids are doing nowadays. Even if there's nothing that totally blows their socks off at Disney World, which there will be, but even if they're being all teen about it, there's other things that you can add on to your holiday that might float their boat, such as you could maybe take a day or two and go to Wizarding World over at Universal Studios, or you could go to Six Flags if they want to do some really super fast rides without some of the theming, or Knott's Berry Farm. A couple of years ago we went to the Kennedy Space Center and that was amazing, and I touched a piece of the moon. So I think no matter how big or small your kids are, there is going to be something amazing for them to do at Disney World. So that is number 2, officially debunked. So have you taken a little kid or a big kid to Disney World or Disneyland? What did you think? Did they love it? Did they hate it? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the comments down below. Okay, reason number 3 that people don't go to Disney World is because they say it's too expensive. And look, it is kind of expensive, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, it's a holiday of a lifetime. I think it's totally worth it, and it takes me 36 hours to get there. But there are things you can do to save money. So, for example, there's mousesavers.com, where they have all these deals and coupons that you can use to help you save money. Also, at certain times in the year, Disney releases packages and deals to help you save money. And the best thing about Disney is that you don't actually have to wait for the sale to be on. If you book your holiday now, you basically are locking in that price and you will pay anything up to that amount. If in a couple of months you've booked and then a sale happens, you just call them and say, look, I want the sale rate, and they'll give it to you. We did that, I think, twice last time we went, and it's totally fine and they don't mind at all. They just adjust everything and voila. So just keep an eye on Mouse Savers and the Disney website and you can save a bit of money. I'm actually going to do a whole nother video about what you can do to save money at Disney World, but basically it is still kind of expensive, but it's worth it. Okay, so the last one, reason number 4 that people say they don't want to go to Disney is because they don't want to wait in line. And I think there's sort of 3 phases of things that Disney does to help get around this. So the first thing is that there are actually lots of people out there who do tons of research and tons of stats to put together these crowd planners. So I'll give you a couple of examples in the links below, but say for example, I have a friend who uses Kenny the Pirate, and I've also looked at touring plans and a few of the other sites that I'll list down below, and they have done so much research to try and work out what is the best time to go to Disney. And a lot of them actually break it down to not just which time of the year, but which park on which day. And if this is happening there, and then that's going to influence this. And it's really complicated, but you can look at all these things. I have a friend who spends hours and hours and hours looking at this stuff to work out when we're going to go on holiday. So that's the first thing you can do, to actually go at a time. If you don't want to deal with the lines, go at a time where there's probably not going to be that many lines. The The second thing you can do if you don't like waiting in line is make use of the My Magic Plus and book all your fast passes in advance. So I'm going to make a whole video on what that means and how you do it and what's the best thing and what not to do. But basically, it stops you waiting in line. You book your fast passes, and for those rides, you're just going to go through the fast pass line. You're going to wait in a teeny tiny weeny line. You're not going to be doing any of this waiting for 3 hours crap, and you basically don't have to wait in line. So that's easy peasy. Okay, and so the last thing that Disney does to help you out with waiting in line is it actually has the Disney Play app. Now, they didn't have this when I was there last time, so I can't tell you that much about it, but what I understand is that it's basically an app that lets you interact with the things around you while you're waiting in the line. For example, I've read that on the new Star Wars ride, you're going to be able to log in and turn on a security camera or turn off a security camera depending whose side you're on. So that sounds really cool. So no, you're not going to be able to avoid being in the lines at all. There is going to be a little bit of waiting in line, but if you do these 3 things by picking a good time to go, by booking your fast passes in advance, and by actually interacting with the lines while you're there, then hopefully waiting in line won't be that big a deal. So that's it, guys. That was my 4 reasons that people think they can't go to Disney, and I think we've officially debunked pretty much all of them. Final thoughts on this matter is that if you're thinking about going on a Disney holiday, just do it. It is amazing. It really is the happiest place on earth. The cast members and all the behind the scenes and the Imagineers do everything they can to make sure that you have an incredible time and everyone in your party has an incredible time. So obviously, I'm kind of into Disney, and I've been a lifelong lover of Disney, and I have a friend who's the same. But strangely, we both managed to marry people who really weren't that into it. They weren't anti-Disney in any kind of way, but they were like, take it or leave it. And so when I was planning my honeymoon with my husband about, oh my God, we're going to go to Disneyland, he thankfully came along with me. But that one taste was enough, and we've been back 3 times more, and now he loves it just as much as me. And so you just go. It's amazing. And that's it. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, think about giving us a like, and if you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. But until next time, I will see you here on Wonderland.